Hello everyone, it's Crafty Carol here again with another little card for you. Now we're getting towards the end of September, so I need to start thinking about Christmas cards, and I bought some of these wonderful sets of stamp sets and dies, bundles, that's the word I'm trying to think of, and I wanted to use this one today. This is the Christmas labels bundle, and it has a set of wonderful, I hope you can read them if I hold them about there, Christmas sentiments really, to suit everybody really. And it comes, because it's a bundle, it comes with a set of dies. I've got one out here that I'm going to use today. That's this one here with this lovely detail on it, and all of these have some detail on them. Really lovely dies. And I wanted to focus today on making sure that we make the most of all of our craft stuff. It's all getting so expensive, we need to make sure we've got what we need. So I'm going to make this card. I'm going to make it a landscape card. And when I make landscape cards, I actually make them by cutting the A4 sheet in the middle here at, at 10.5 centimetres or 4¼ inches, because it stands up better. A landscape like that stands up a lot better than a landscape done that way, because they tend to sort of fall over, especially if they're up for any time, and Christmas cards can be. So definitely worth cutting it this way. So that is our base card. It's 10.5 by 29.6, half a sheet of A4, scored at 14.8. If you're working in letter size, it's 11 inches by 4¼ scored at 5.5. So that's our base, usual basic white, but to add a little bit of glitz and glamour, I'm using some gold foil. And this piece of gold foil is 14.3 by 10 or 5¼ inches by 4 inches. And that will sit on as a layer just with a little rim round the edge. And then I'm going to cut another layer of DSP, and I'm using this sheet. This is from the, what's it called, Season of Green and Gold, and it's beautiful, beautiful specialty DSP. As you can see, there's a couple of sides there. This lovely, hopefully you can see the gold shimmering. These gorgeous sort of groups of berries and things, which I've used in the card I'm making in my Zoom craft along next week. And if you want to join me for that live on Zoom, if you sign up for my emails, you will get all the details of what you need to cut. If you don't need this paper, the card I'm planning for next week could be using any DSP, so don't worry about that. So just to show you the rest of these sheets, I mean they're all double-sided of course, as always, and they really are absolutely beautiful. There's some more in here I haven't shown you. This one, look at that, just pure gold and white with green on the back, lovely green, beautiful mossy meadow. And more with mistletoe on the back and this lovely star pattern on the front. So just a fabulous set of DSP. It's no wonder I've ordered a couple of packs of that. So I'm going to use this sheet today, and I want to use the front. I'm making a landscape card, so I need to cut along this way. I want the pattern to be this way round. So to cut my next layer, it needs to be 9.5 wide. Oh, bit of card stuck in there, don't know why. 9.5 centimetres wide, or in inches, that's 3¾ inches wide. So we'll cut that first. So 9.5. So move it up to 9.5. Make sure it's nice and straight on the top, and then I can cut it off like that. And the width I need is 13.8 centimetres or 5 inches if you're working in inches. So for the inch size paper. So that is that piece. And I think this DSP is so gorgeous that it doesn't actually, so you can see how I've got now a little gold edge around that. It doesn't actually need much else apart from this greeting that I want to put on it. So I wanted to show you one way to save some paper if you need, especially the gold foil, it's expensive. So if I cut out this die from this piece of gold foil, it's not going to show, because when I make the card up, I have that on top. So good way to save some space, save some foil. I want this top in gold foil, so cut it out of that. So I'm going to go and do that, and then I'll show you what it looks like. So here I am. This is my piece that I've cut out. You can see it's got this lovely detail as part of the die, and these little slits, which means that I can actually put a piece of card and slide it in if I wanted, or put ribbon through, which is really useful. But I'm actually just going to stick my sentiment across the front here to go on this card. And what I've done is used the die and placed it on my card and just used a pencil to mark top and bottom so that I know where I need to stamp my sentiment so that it's going to be right, and then I can trim it and stick it on there. So I'm going to use the love and joy, that's what it is, love and joy across there. And I want my, where is it? There we go. I do want my embossing buddy, because I am going to emboss this in gold. So just going to emboss that card, put that embossing buddy across the card, making sure that I've got any grease off. And then I need my Versamark, which has vanished. Oh, there it is. And I can pick up the Love and Joy in Versamark. There we go. And then using my lines, I can make sure I get this between the lines, because I should be able to see. It's a very dirty block, but I can see just between them, so I can press that down. There we go. And get my gold embossing powder. You can see it now, you can see the sentiment properly. It's always difficult to see in Versamark. So now I can get my heat gun and we can just emboss that. So again, remembering about the heat gun, turn it on and just play it on your hand. It does heat very quickly. Just make sure it's nice and hot before we take it to the actual card, because I don't want the card to bend too much. So I can run it over the top here. You can see it start to go, there we go. Don't you just love seeing embossing go? Just going to run it over the back. That tries to keep the card, ooh, let's get rid of the noise, now I can speak to you. And that keeps the card really quite, stops it bending too much. So now I've got all my pieces, I can now trim this card using my pencil lines. I can put my pencil lines down my trimmer channel, cut that one off, turn it round to do the other side, making my line up in the trimmer channel, cut that one, and that should mean, out of the way, that is now exactly the right size as it is to just go in here. So I'm going to stick that on there as my sentiment, just with a little bit of Tombow, and then we can make the card. So I'm going to stick this on and just leave it for a second, because it will take a little bit of time to stick. Tombow will stay very, very flexible on gold foil, and I want to make sure I don't get any other glue on that. And now we can stick this piece, which is our layer, on the card. Ooh, little scrap there, get rid of that. And how I've got glue on me when I haven't actually touched that glue at all, that ink at all, I've no idea. Anyway, never mind, we'll just carry on. How have I got that on? I've no idea. No, no idea. How to get dirty in one easy lesson, just watch Carol Craft, yeah. So I can put my glue on there and then lay this down on my card front, making sure I've got the same gap all the way around. Use the wiggle room if I need to. And then I can put my piece of DSP on top. Even the back. The trouble with these lovely specialty DSP, I love the gold side, but some of the backs are beautiful too. I mean, this will make a beautiful background for a card, but I want to use the gold and the bells for this one. So same thing, making sure I've got a nice border all the way around. Stick that on like that. There. And then to finish off, I'm going to stick my sentiment on. Just don't really want to cover the bell. I think we'll go this side. Leaves quite a lot of gold, which is fine. But yeah, so beautiful. I don't really want to cover up any of it, which is one of the problems. But hey, we'll be okay. Use some dimensionals. Oh, my sheet's running out again. And again, I don't want to stick the dimensionals over the posh bit, if you like, of that. So we're going to just use some, I'll use this end bit, finish that pack, get a new one out soon. There we go. And here we have the card. I'm just going to finish the middle of it in a second. Once I've managed to peel off all those dimensional backings, there we go. So this already has such a lot of lovely pattern on it. Where to put it? I think I will have it over here so it's not covering up too many of the bells. Why not? There we go. I thought about putting some ribbon on. I thought about adding some other gems, but there's so much lovely gold in that. I honestly don't think it needs any more. So I'm just going to finish off the inside. And I'm going to use another of the, better put this label away as well. Another of the things from the Christmas label. This is the one that just says, hope your season is filled with magic, which I think is really nice for the inside of the, whoops, stick on, die, there we go. Which I think is lovely for the inside of the card. And given my gold and green colours on this, so I think that's Old Olive. I'm not sure, but I've got garden green out. I think I'll get Old Olive. Oh, just reach that. We'll use Old Olive for the inside. Whoops, can't open it. There we go. Hope your season is filled with magic. There we go. That will lighten slightly as it dries, as always with ink. You can see it lightening as it dries. That's really quite pretty. Right, so there we have our inside. I could decorate that as well if I wanted with other pictures. That paper goes with this particular stamp set, Golden Greenery. So I could use some of these inside as well. Not sure, should I? Yeah, I could do. I've got that out for another project, so yeah, why not? Let's have some sprigs, because I'm going to use those on the... I'll just have a sprig down here, I think. There we go. And as always, an envelope. And I will use that same stamp on the envelope. We'll have, need to be careful we don't get in the way of writing addresses on envelopes. So I'll have it coming down the side of the envelope, I think. Then I've still got plenty of room for the address and for the stamp. Or for just a name if I'm giving it, obviously. But there we go. So that then I've got some, I like to have for the envelope, I do like to have something that links with the card. So there is my Love and Joy card and my envelope, my first Christmas card of the season. So I could make a lot of these and save a lot of gold foil by cutting out my shape, my sentiment frame from the gold foil. And you can see, you can't see that there's a gap in the middle, it doesn't matter. But I've saved quite a bit of gold foil doing that. And that's always a good thing. So thank you for joining me today. If you want the full measurements and the instructions, they are on my website as usual at craftycarolscards.co.uk. Please do subscribe to this channel if you haven't before, and visit my website, sign up for my emails, and then you'll get all the information about the card I'm making next week in my live Zoom craft along. That is on the 3rd of October, Thursday the 3rd of October at 11 AM. So all the details in the email. Hope to see you there. Thank you for joining me today, and bye for now.